American West, vast, lawless, and filled with stories of an almost mythological power. From John Ford's heroic 1950s epics, through the playful cool of Sergio Leone's Man with No Name, to the dark grit of modern classics like The Proposition, the Western is an almost exclusively cinematic genre. Its big ideas and even bigger vistas escaping the capabilities of the game industry. Well, at least that was until Red Dead Redemption came along. There's two stories to Red Dead Redemption. The first is a sequel to arcade-style cowboy shooter, a sequel that ballooned over the 5 years of its development, a game that its creators, Rockstar Games, termed more ambitious than Grand Theft Auto 4. The other is the story of John Marston, a reformed outlaw forced to bring in the remaining members of his old gang. It's an understated tale that brings the ever dry-witted John into contact with a variety of compelling characters, from cynical sheriffs to corrupt revolutionaries, skillfully encompassing the classic Western themes of law versus nature, and of course redemption. This tour of the last great frontier in its dying days surpasses most other game narratives for depth, character, and intelligence. But then there's more to this game than a clever tale well told. At its heart, Red Dead Redemption is a classic Rockstar sandbox title. Like GTA before it, the world is populated with mission-giving characters, side quest-triggering strangers, and all the diversions you might expect, from poker to bounty hunting. But with a vast frontier at their feet, the developers chose to color the game's wilderness with the chaos of trouble. Random scripted events, from hangings to escaped criminals, give a sense of unpredictability to your travels, while hunting animals for their skins and mysterious treasure maps will lead you far off the beaten track. These seemingly peripheral elements combine to bring the complete Western experience to players, whether they imagine themselves as a raccoon-hunting Davy Crockett or a gunslinging John Wayne. And what would a Western be without its gunfights? Red Dead Redemption's cover shooting may be adapted from GTA 4's, but you'd be hard-pressed to tell. This is brutal combat, filled with gunsmoke and crumpling bodies. Driven by Rockstar's now infamous Euphoria engine, enemies react to every shot, tumbling from balconies and horses with the kind of balletic dying acts that mark out the best cinematic shootouts. Feeding directly into this is Marston's sole special move, Deadeye, a burst of slow motion that allows you to choose your targets before taking them all down in a single flurry of shots. This is a Clint Eastwood trick that's dripping with calculated cool. And when the enemies have fallen and the dust clouds drift away, a solemn stillness descends over every battlefield.
We come in peace.
Those words mean nothing coming from people like you.
It's in this stillness that Red Dead Redemption truly excels. It may have its fair share of blazing guns and saddles, but it's those long treks across the plains, storm clouds forming at your back, and vultures circling above that really remain in the memory. It's a world of both incredible detail and vast scale, from the strikingly realistic horses to the hypnotic weather system. No game before it has truly captured the feeling of a living wilderness better, and we doubt many will after. Even 40 hours in, your heart will still rise in your chest as you saddle up and ride into a bright dawn. It gives the game a minor tone, a bittersweet feeling that is carried in the music and the story to one of the greatest conclusions gaming has ever seen. But even after Marston's tale is over, Red Dead Redemption refuses to release its grip. A generous multiplayer mode offers both furious fighting and the chance to travel the wilderness with a posse, completing missions or simply exploring side by side. It's an incredible feature that gives players the chance to share in the game's incredible world, hunting together across the plains. It's just another experience that the game will mark on your heart in indelible ink, alongside your first sunrise in Mexico, hunting bears among snow flurries, or simply tipping your hat to a stranger. Red Dead Redemption is a game built from such moments. It's an experience that manages to provide the drama of both a tightly scripted story and the chaotic magic of an open world in a Western to rival the greats of the genre, cinema or not.